class. Okay, as we already discussed, functions are nothing but they are self-defined or well-defined tasks that performs a particular function. So here, for example, in the main program itself is a function. So yesterday we discussed how this particular main function itself is a function because it is written for a certain uh, functionality. Okay, so here functions are represented by rounded brackets, and functions are divided into two types. So yesterday we discussed about all this. So what are predefined functions and user defined functions? So predefined functions are functions which are library functions, or they are ready-made functions. Okay, so you cannot change the functions which are already written, or you cannot modify them. They are present in std, that is any header file. Okay, header files with .h as the extension, and each and every function has a specific task to be performed. Now here user defined functions are functions which the programmer is writing according to the requirements. So they are also called as custom functions, or they are called as user defined functions or tailor made functions. So both perform the same tasks, but these are predefined and these are user defined. So you cannot change the predefined functions, but user defined functions we can write as we like. Okay, now so that is the major difference between the user defined functions and the predefined functions. So here the predefined functions, they are also called as built-in functions, and they are present in header files, whereas the user defined functions are functions which is a part of the program, or we write the program as we like, that is according to the requirements needed. Now, how the functions can be defined, how they can be declared. Okay, so that we are going to see in this class. So what are the major applications of functions? So yesterday we discussed about the two major functionalities, or the two major applications of functions. One is reusability of the code. So reusability of the code, and the second one is modularity. Reusability of the code is, now as I told you, when you write a set of instructions in a function, that can be called any number of times in the main program. So as and when you're calling the function, so this is called as the calling a function. So we have calling a function is nothing but whenever you want to perform a particular task, that particular function has to be called. So when we are writing a function in the main program, it is called as the calling program or calling function. So this is called as the calling function. And this function where the instructions are written are called as the called functions. Okay, so this is the called function and this is the calling function. So in this example, if you look at this example, so this function one or fun1 is called twice. So first time it is calling, so it wants some function to be performed or a task to be performed. So it is calling a function. So when a function is called, the control is passed, the compiler will pass the control from the main program to that particular function where it is present. Okay, so if it is in the same file, well and good. Otherwise, if it is in the predefined function, it has to be included. That particular header file has to be included. So the control will go to that particular function and execute all the instructions. Then once the instructions are completed, the function is executed, then the control will come back to the function. Okay, then the next statement or the next instruction will get executed. Similarly, once again, when the function is called, again the control is passed here, all the instructions are executed and it comes back. So this is how functions are called, the functions are executed, and then the control is brought back to the main program. Now, we will specifically discuss about how a user-defined function is executed, how it is defined, and how it is called. Okay, network is good only. Right. Now here, what is the